welcome. Today I'm showing how I made my garden shed in Vermont. This shed was built first on the property so that we could store our lawnmower and tools and anything that comes up in the building process of developing this property. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting concrete blocks down a little bit into the ground to make sure that our skid foundation is off of the dirt a little. We could have put gravel down underneath the shed and then built the skid foundation on top of that, but I knew that we were going to be moving the shed a couple times during the building process of our property. I used pressure-treated lumber for the entire underside decking for this project. Pressure-treated lumber should be used anytime that you're building something outdoors that is in contact with the elements. What I did here is I plumbed up a string line so that I could measure down from that to find where the dirt needs to go to be level. My mom was a huge help during this whole project, just being a second set of hands and building with me. What you see us doing here is laying down landscape fabric underneath the shed just to keep any plants from growing up into that decking. I nailed on some blocking at the end of where each plywood panel would break. This is great for when using that 1/2-inch plywood because it adds a lot more rigidity at the ends of each panel. I had some friends in town that wanted to help build, so we framed the walls together. It was great to have extra hands on this project because I was able to use the level, make sure the wall was plumb, and I had an extra hand to screw in that brace. The best way to know if a wall is square is to measure the diagonals. If both of those diagonals are the same across the wall, you know your wall is square. The reason we did this on the ground is so while the walls were on the ground, we were able to sheathe them, and all we had to do was lift up these walls. After my friends left town, I made up some trusses with some plywood blocking, nails, and then I screwed them together before placing them up on the roof. After lifting up each truss, I installed purlins, which are just horizontal 2x4s, to add some extra strength before I put on the roof sheathing. steps. I went around the entire structure, filling in the last couple pieces that were needed there, and started to install trim and soffit material. I decided to pre-paint most of the material before we hung it. That way I wouldn't have to come up there with a paintbrush and not have a fun time. And the final step, the metal roof. This was no fun. But in the end, everything came together to make a beautiful little garden shed. This is just a 10 by 12 garden shed, but it has awesome storage for everything we needed to put in it.